Hello everybody and welcome back again. Another Sunday afternoon cooking adventure. So this afternoon I'm going to make some quick almond biscuits. Really quick, really simple and really delicious. So let's just get straight into it. But I want to show you this little thing today. So from your home screen here, if we press, I don't know if you can see it on screen, down the bottom there's a series of little dots. If we press those, it will bring up the recipe because I've already put it into my week saying that I was going to make this week. The recipe's there and ready to get started. So then we just press the start button, and I love guided cooking. Cooking for dummies, it tells us what to do. Preheat the oven. I've already put the oven on. And I've already got lined baking trays. So into here. Did you notice that though? How cool is this? This machine is so clever. It knows the lid's on, it knows I've got to put food in, and so I don't know if you can see it, but it's giving me a little instruction to take the lid off so I can get the food into here. So into here we want 100 grams of blanched almonds. So I'm just going to put them in, and it will, notice this goes green, and it's going to tick it off to tell me, done, you've got it in there. And then we also want about 100 grams of sugar. Little bit over, doesn't matter. Close enough. So if we just press the next button, what we're going to do now is what's called milling. So this is where we go for a little bit longer than usual. So we're going to go for 10 whole seconds on speed 9. Yes. So what I'd be advising you to do now is turn your sound down because for 10 seconds it's going to be loud. Okay, here we go. Done. And we are back. And have a look at this. This is what 10 seconds of milling does. It turns those 100 grams of almonds just into like an almond meal, which is pretty great. So what I haven't done, which is not very bright, was I didn't have my spatula out ready to scrape the sides of the bowl, and I don't even know where I've put it. So I'm going to use my TM6 spatula. Close enough, it'll work. So I'll just knock that down a bit. So then into here, I'll just tear that back. And good afternoon to you, Linda. How are you going? Have you had much of a look at the magazine yet? While I've got a few people here, let me just ask. So when I'm doing cooking and I'm doing some milling or something like that, and it's really loud, I will ask you to turn the sound down. The other option is, what we could do is instead of me doing this on Facebook, I could do it on Zoom, and you log into the Zoom and watch along that way, because Zoom automatically takes out those sounds. So let me know what it is you think would be, a better option for you. Okay, so we'll just tear that off, and in here we add some plain flour. About 150 grams. And some butter. About 130 grams, and a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. So it'll have a beautiful, sweet, vanilla-y taste. In that goes. And of course I managed to spill it all over the bench, all over my hand. I am the messiest cook in the world. Okay, so I put that in, and we'll press the next button. And so we're just going to mix it for 5 seconds on speed 6. Now this is nowhere near as noisy. Done. So a 5-second mix gets it started. So what I'll do again is I'll take my spatula and just scrape down the sides of the bowl like this. There we go. So it's almost come together. It's pretty good actually. And then next, so what we're going to do now is knead. Now, one of the great things about the Thermomix is you don't have to ever change and put a dough hook in. It will knead it using the blade that's in there. It's pretty clever. So now it's doing the knead. And so it goes in one direction for, I think it's about 5 seconds. It stops and then goes back again. So every few seconds it changes directions, and that works beautifully to knead the dough. And we're done. So that is a nice little dough already, which is great. So now what I'm going to do is just make these into little balls to put on the trays. So let me try and get a bit organised here. Here is a baking tray that I've taken. This is from the Rose Gold collection that is in the mix shop. And it's lined with one of these amazing silicone baking mats. These are fantastic. You can use them for anything, and they stop the food sticking, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to take scoops of this. Oh, not with that. Oh, goodness, that'll do. Scoops of this, roll it into little balls and put them on here. And we will end up with a number of nice little biscuits. Like that. This was my favourite job when I was a kid, doing all this sort of thing, helping my mother and my aunt to do this sort of cooking. Rolling the dough out was always, I thought, such an important job. As an adult, I think it's a bit boring, but anyway, it's one of those things you've got to do. It's all part of the process to get the end result, hey? So I can see, yep, Linda, you said you liked the magazine. That's great. So while we're talking about the magazine, did you know that if you buy a Thermomix at the moment, on checkout at the mix shop, you will get a free copy of the magazine and a free scratchy. Now, that offer is for a limited time. Excuse me a moment. That offer runs out on the 25th, so a few days' time. It's running out on the 25th because that's the end of our 25th anniversary sale. So you get the magazine for free, or you can buy it later on after that. It's about $14.99, I think. And the scratchy has got all sorts of things that you can win. So one of my customers messaged me the other day to tell me that she had gotten a half-price blade peeler and cover, which is fantastic. So you can get that. You might win a second bowl blade and lid set for your Thermomix. There are actually 4 whole Thermomixes that could be won. You can win all sorts of goodies that you can use in your cooking. Some of them you will get for free, and some of them are heavily discounted, like 50%, which, really, you can't complain about a 50% discount. I think that's pretty great. And oh, here we go, a little bit more. Nearly done. So that's one of the great things that we've got on offer at the moment. There's a few things underway, but that's one of the ones that really people seem to be absolutely loving. It's just we all love to get something for free. You buy a Thermomix, you get a free magazine and a scratchy and a chance to win Lord knows what. All sorts of great things that you could use. Now, there's our little biscuits set out there. I will just get out a fork and squish them down a bit. There we go. And they will just go into the oven then for a little while, not terribly long, about 10 or 15 minutes. And they will cook and be absolutely delicious. A little bit more mixture here that I need to just get out and roll up. I'll put it on the next tin. And they both of these can go in the oven together. If you're making this and you don't have a second baking sheet to put them on, the suggestion is that you take the first lot out, let them cool a little bit, then put the biscuits onto a wire rack to finish cooling, but don't use the baking sheet until it's completely cooled. Because if you use it while it's hot, it will cause the butter in the mixture to melt too quickly, and then the biscuits will spread too much, so they won't hold their form. So the idea is you need to just let that cool right down before you use it again. There we go. So, bingo, last bit of it. Right. And I'll just squish these down. Here we go, done. Too easy. And then if you just press the next button, so it tells us we need to bake them for about 12 to 17 minutes, crikeys. Okay, I'll be back in 1 sec. I'm just going to put these into the oven. And I need to wash my hands. Sorry, I will be back. So, there we go. Now, 12 to 17 minutes. So I'm going to take a guess at around 15 minutes to start with. So let me show you this amazing little trick that you can do on your TM7, which I think is fantastic. On the screen here, there's a little black line at the top. You press that and it brings down the cooking centre, where you can either look at the time, you can set a timer, you can set the scales going, or you can do a pre-clean. So we're going to start off by setting the timer. And we're going to do 15 minutes. Then down the bottom here, we can select 10 minutes plus 5 minutes. There's 15, and set it going. And so that's going to then keep the time for us and let us know when that's done, which I think is fantastic. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a quick pre-clean. So one of the amazing functions of the TM7 and the 6 is this pre-clean function. It doesn't get the bowl absolutely spotless. However, it does get, excuse me, I've got something in my throat. It does get the worst of the dirt off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in the bowl here. Just cover the blades and a little bit more. So probably a bit under a litre of water. Put that in and back it goes, and then a little bit of detergent. Honestly, just a couple of drops. You do need to be careful not to put too much detergent in, because otherwise you end up with, you know, froth and bubbles coming out the top of your Thermomix, which nobody wants. So press the suds and we get choices then. How do we want to clean it? How much do we need to do? So we're going to just do a quick one, I think, this time. So, but you do get a choice depending on what your bowl looks like. Press the play button and bingo, off it goes, doing its thing, which is fantastic. I love that you can do that. It's one of my favourite functions of the Thermomix. So just to remind everybody, you purchase a machine, you'll get a copy of this, only till the 25th of this month. Shh. If you, I hope you can still hear me, if you buy a machine from me after that, I will give you a copy of this. Sorry, it's a bit loud. It's nearly done. Does a great countdown. There's only 30 seconds left and that'll be finished, and I think I best wait till it's finished rather than fight with it to try and get it done. Hold on a sec, we're almost there. But it's an amazing little function, and it's just fantastic. It gets so much of the grot off your bowl, and it reduces the amount of scrubbing that you've got to do yourself. Now, yes, Linda's asked a question, can we put it in the dishwasher? Absolutely. Everything is dishwasher safe except the base unit. There we go, done. The parts that I wouldn't put in are the lid, simply because the lid and the outer bowls. There's actually two bowls here, I'll show you in a sec. So let me just tip that water out. There we go. And look, it's pretty clean. Still needs a little go over, but it's pretty good. So the Thermomix actually has two bowls. This black one is the outer bowl. It's insulation. So what that does is it reduces the noise a bit and it helps to keep the food much hotter. So I would not advise to be putting that in the dishwasher at all, or the lid, simply because the dishwasher, detergent is quite, what's the word? Harsh, I suppose, and it may strip the colour out of it. So I never put the outer bowl or the lid in. So I want to take this out. On the side here, you just push along that switch, pull out the blade, and then there's an inner bowl. The inner bowl, absolutely, put that in the dishwasher. Love the dishwasher. It saves so much time and effort, and absolutely that will work. It's not a problem at all. So what I was saying is, if you buy before the 25th, Thermomix will give you a copy of the magazine and a scratchy. Pretty cool. If you buy after the 25th, I will give you a copy. I bought a stack of these magazines from the mix shop when they first came out, and I've been giving them to people as gifts, and they've got lots of great things in here. Some fantastic recipes for you to try. Now, the other things that I wanted to talk to you about, I've written myself a note because my memory is absolutely shocking. So, we have at the moment on the go a deal where you can get your Thermomix using Zip Money. So the first 250 people, it is, I think, to create a new Zip account and purchase a Thermomix with that will get $150 back into their Zip account. So you're basically getting $150 off the price. And that's on the go until the 15th of March. Think about that. Sometimes, it's not easy to come up with the amount of money you need to get a machine, and Zip is a fantastic way to do it. If you have a demo, we've still got our amazing host rewards. Unfortunately, they are running out this week on the 25th, so only a few days. You can still get in touch with me and I can come over and do a demo for you. We can do an online demo like this. However you want to work it, let's try and get it together, because for $25, you can buy a thermo server. Now, they're normally about $160. $25 is a pretty good price, and the thermo servers are fantastic. They really keep the food so warm for you, and some of the recipes, like the risottos, when you finish cooking it and you look into the Thermomix bowl, you go, oh, it still looks a little bit too wet. You put it into the thermo server and leave it for 5 or 10 minutes, and it absorbs all that moisture, and it's just absolutely fantastic. You can also, for $25, if you chose, get a set of amazing ramekins. They're beautiful porcelain ramekins that sit inside the Varoma, and I'm going to be cooking something in those next month, so you will get to see them. And you can make all sorts of things in the little ceramic ramekins. You can make chocolate lava cakes, you can make steamed puddings, you can make cheesy broccoli pots. There's a gazillion recipes that you can have a go with. That is fantastic. Then the amazing bread tin. Again, it's from that rose gold collection that those other tins that I just used are from. And that bread tin, again, is fantastic. It absolutely, the rose gold coating is non-stick, so the bread just slips out of it every time. I love using mine, and I use it quite a bit. You can also get the blade cover and peeler, $25. So I use that for things like peeling potatoes. If I buy garlic in bulk, which sometimes I do, I will put the blade cover in, a little bit of water, break up all the garlic just into cloves, put that in the machine. About 2 minutes, thereabouts, it's pretty much all peeled. It's fantastic. Then I can just dry it off and whack it in the freezer. I've got peeled garlic ready to go anytime I want it, which I love. Or there's a set of 3 amazing stainless steel mixing bowls that you can again purchase for $25. Now, the great thing about this current host reward is It doesn't matter if somebody buys a machine or not. There's no tier 1 or tier 2 category. You get it $25 no matter what, simple as, and it makes it much easier. There's no mucking around, there's no sort of worrying about it. Now, the other thing was the amazing referral. So if you have a friend who you think, they might like a Thermomix, and you have a chat to them about it, they go, yeah, I wouldn't mind one. You go, I know, Thermonev, I'm going to give him your details. You give me your friend's details, I put that into our system, and then if your friend buys before the 31st of March, you will get a $100 voucher to spend at the mix shop. So $100 you can buy quite a lot of stuff, or you can also get a significant discount off things as well. And after that, you know, they're sort of saying it'll go back to a $50 voucher, which still can't be sneezed at, but if you can get 100, absolutely, why not go for $100? It's a fantastic offer that, excuse me, that the company are offering us at the moment, and it's great to see so many people taking advantage of that. There have been quite a few absolutely do it. So what are people's thoughts about that? Any thoughts? Or is it just crickets? So next week, so we've put up today some posts in the Thermonev pages showing you what I'm going to be doing over the month of March. So there's 5 Sundays in March, so there's going to be 5 dishes. The first one starting next week is cheese scones, which are like a savoury scone sort of thing. And I can't for the life of me remember off the top of my head the other things I'm going to be making in March. But I've got the 5 things set out. So there is some sweet baking and some savoury baking. So it's a mixture of the two. And then I'm thinking in April that what I'm going to do is do a series of things on saving money with your Thermomix, because that is one of the most amazing, fantastic things you can do with it. So I thought I would do things like show you things like making your own flours. So things like making almond milk, making rice flour, how to make icing sugar, because you know you don't have to ever buy icing sugar again when you've got a Thermomix. And we can look at that in April. Things like golden syrup. You can make your own golden syrup. So easy to do and saves you a fortune. And the other thing that you can make that I just loved when I first got my Thermomix was sweetened condensed milk. That is such an easy thing to make, and it is honestly so cheap. You know, when you buy it in the shops, it's, you know, $3.50 a tin. And honestly, to make it, it's less than $1 to make the same amount. Nobody knows the difference. It tastes exactly the same, and it's absolutely delicious. So that's what I'm thinking. They're the sorts of things I'm thinking that I'd like to do in April. If you've got any ideas, if you've got any suggestions, please reach out, put a message to me, put a note in the box down the bottom here to say what it is that you'd like to do. And I'm more than happy if I can do it and if we can fit it in, because I don't like these to go too long. 20 minutes, 30 at the absolute most. Everybody's busy. Sunday afternoon, people are trying to get sorted for the week ahead, get families organised, get themselves organised. And so let's just try and keep it short. Give me some suggestions and I will do my best to try and make those things for you, because I figure I can sit here and make all sorts of suggestions, but if it's not what you want to see, you're not going to watch. And I would really love you to be watching and recommending me to your friends so you can see what it is. Now I can smell those biscuits. I'm just going to step over to the oven and have a look and see how they're going. And we're ready. So this is the tray that just had a few on, but look at that. Absolutely delicious. I cannot wait. I'm just going to let those cool a little bit on the tray, and then I'm going to put them onto a cooling rack, and enjoy them during the week with a cuppa. Does anybody, also I'd really like to know if anybody likes chocolate hazelnut spread, or commonly known as Nutella. Let me know if you like it, because we can incorporate that into our saving money videos in April, because you can make your own Nutella and it's pretty cheap. And one of the things you can do with it is, if you've got those almond biscuits, once they've cooled, you can put Nutella and squish two together and they're absolutely delicious. So have a think about that. Give me some suggestions. All right, I think our time is pretty much done. So I'm going to sign off here and say thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had lots of fun. And, you know, tune in next week when we are going to make our fantastic savoury cheese scones, just for something a little bit different. And they're pretty yummy. I had some the other day at a function I was at and they were fantastic. All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. See you later.